Carlos, if you like, we can start. Hoping that Josh will join soon.
Okay. I think Josh just join us. So
Okay,
I'm good to start.
great,
So
great.
okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm proud to present our project titled Friedman Capital Group: Secure and User-Centric Real Estate Platform. Along with my teammates Niyati, Jerry, Dishant, and Lou, we have developed this under the guidance of Professor Sakir. So this is the agenda of what we are going to present today. So the US real estate market has seen significant fluctuations over the past 5 years, driven by negative perceptions of market tokenization. These include unclear regulatory guidance from the SEC and concerns that treating real estate like stocks could inflate housing prices. However, the landscape has recently shifted. BlackRock, a leading US company and the world's largest asset manager, known for its impact on global markets and financial policies, made headlines a few weeks ago. The company made a substantial investment in the tokenization market by deploying 100 millions on Ethereum blockchain and further strengthening its position in the ETF market. So with all this dynamism, what does the future look like? We don't have a crystal ball to see the future. However, we do have current companies carving out their niches in the marketplace from which we can learn. By examining their successes and failures and analyzing their current situations, we gain valuable insights. We conduct an in-depth study of Lofty, the leading player in the US market, initially backed by Y Combinator, to develop recommendations for SecondaryDAO. SecondaryDAO is a platform designed to connect real estate property owners with token investors from all over the world. This is strategically planned to launch in El Salvador, a country known for its clear digital asset regulations. A testament of this is the establishment of Senat, an institution responsible for the regulation and supervision of the digital asset ecosystem in El Salvador. Further evidence is provided by projects like the construction of a Hilton hotel financed through tokenized debt. So SecondaryDAO is a platform. As a platform, it connects sellers with buyers. From the seller side, we have real estate property owners. From the buyer side, we have token investors. And there are going to be two kinds of effects. We're going to see direct network effects. More sellers will make the platform better, attracting more sellers. More buyers will make also the platform better, attracting more buyers. And we also will see indirect networks effects. As more buyers will benefit from more sellers and vice versa. So the value proposition is that the buyers, the token investors, are going to gain fractional ownership, which will give them access to rental yields and property appreciation. Sellers, on the other side, will have the ability to quickly monetize their assets and bypass traditional loan sources, which take longer or are more expensive. And the platform monetization is going to happen through transaction fees. There are a lot of challenges going on, such as achieving the network effects that I just explained during the go-to-market phase of the platform, ensuring robust security, and enhancing the platform transaction efficiency. So in order to make this happen, we built a team by grad students here at CMU This is the team. We built two sub-teams, the platform assessment and dashboard team, and the security team as well. So let's go with the platform assessment. So as I mentioned before, we did an assessment based on Lofty, one of the strongest players in the US market. We did a market research, detecting main issues and solutions for these problems. We built 3 deliverables: the competitive market analysis, go-to-market assessment, and we also built a dashboard, which is tightly connected with the decision-making process in order to make sure that we are measuring the right KPIs in order to avoid any issue that we have seen on current companies. So this will allow a business scalability and positive network effects. One of the main problems that we saw during our research was that most companies are facing the chicken and egg problem, since in order to for this platform to perform efficiently and create network effects, we need substantial property listings to attract investors and a robust investor base to attract property owners. So the solution would be to, first of all, localize market launches. So instead of just targeting regular homeowners or multifamily homeowners, it will be key to target commercial property owners, because there are more sophisticated players that are going to be willing to innovate with the platform in this tokenization project. Focusing on filling one side first with property owners. So implementing a premium model will encourage property owner listings. Once critical mass is achieved, transition to differential pricing based on user benefits will also be key. All these points are further developed in the deliveries that we are going to share with the client. So again, along with filling one side first, it's going to be key to subsidize key users, such as the property owners and the investors, especially all the early adopters. Building standalone value will also be key. That can be offering property analytics or investment advisory, and also educate property owners on liquidity options beyond traditional loans. And of course, marketing engagement. There are a lot of very well-known influencers with a very high audience, such as Crypto Mason. Mason is one of the influencers that came on our research, that are definitely going to attract very strong traffic into the platform. So with that said, now we will come with Jerry on her explanation of the platform efficiency and transactional cost optimization.
Okay, so next slide, please, Carlos. Yeah, so for this part, our goal is to give some solutions on how to optimize the transaction fees for enhanced scalability of the SecondaryDAO platform. And the deliverable is a comprehensive consulting report. And in this report, I gave the detailed analysis of the strategies for reducing the transaction fees. So next slide, please. And I'm very excited to start with exploring some key concepts in blockchain technology that are revolutionizing the industry, including the real estate. So first, let's talk about what we often hear as layer 1 and layer 2 solutions in blockchain. Imagine layer 1 as the foundation of a building. This is the main blockchain network, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, which manages all transactions directly. However, as more people use it, it can get crowded and slowing things down. That's where layer 2 comes in, and it aims to adding some additional floors to our building. These are built on top of layer 1 to increase the transaction speed and reduce costs without compromising the security of the main floor. Next slide, please. Next, let's talk about smart contracts. So these are not your typical contracts written on paper, but are self-executing contracts with the terms directly written into code. Once preset conditions are met, the contract automatically executes itself. For example, in a real estate transaction, a smart contract can automatically transfer ownership once payment is verified, reducing the need for intermediaries and making the process faster and more secure. Next, we touch on tokenization. This is a process of converting rights to an asset into a digital token on the blockchain. Imagine owning a piece of real estate not as a single deed, but as digital tokens that represent the shares of the property. This can open up the investment opportunities to a broader audience by allowing partial ownership and easier exchange on digital platforms. Next, I will talk about the current setup of SecondaryDAO. SecondaryDAO has not only successfully implemented low-cost gas strategies and deployed their smart contracts on the Arbitrum testnet, a layer 2 solution, but it is also among the first in the real estate tokenization market to leverage smart contracts on layer 2 solutions to reduce the transaction cost. So based on the competitor analysis, we can see that most of the competitors on this market are still using the layer 1. So the SecondaryDAO strategic deployment positions itself as a trailblazer in the market, significantly enhancing the transaction efficiency while maintaining the cost effectiveness. Let's now delve into the 3 strategic solutions that could further reduce transaction fees for SecondaryDAO, and especially as the transaction volumes grow. First is the upgrade to ARP-OS 20 Atlas, which is the layer 2 hypervisor that facilitates the execution environment of an Arbitrum chain. This solution is highly feasible with a moderate difficulty level, primarily requiring technical upgrades and a governance vote. While the technical aspects are straightforward, achieving community consensus can be a little bit challenging. The impact of this upgrade on the transaction phase is significant. It's designed to optimize transaction processing and could reduce fees by up to 90%, depending on the network conditions. Next is the optimization of smart contract code. The code optimization can include 2 parts. One is about the optimization of the variable data types, and another is about the order of the transaction functions. This solution has a high feasibility with low to moderate difficulty. The main challenge here is identifying inefficiencies in the current code base and making necessary revisions or updates without disrupting existing functionalities. The impact on transaction fees is direct and substantial. Optimized code can significantly reduce the gas costs required for executing transactions, potentially saving around 30% to 50% in transaction fees. Finally, we can consider the creation of utility tokens. Utility tokens are a special kind of virtual currency that resides on its own blockchain and give access to the specialized products or services a company is working on. This approach involves navigating diverse legal frameworks and ensuring compliance, which can be resource-intensive. The impact on transaction fees is indirect. Utility tokens themselves don't reduce fees directly, but they can facilitate more efficient transactions and can unlock new business models that may absorb or offset the costs. There are also some potential risks associated with solutions, like the governance approval, the increased labor costs, the platform complexity, and the expectations may be not met. So in my report, I conducted detailed analysis and gave some mitigation recommendations. To effectively implement these solutions and maximize the benefits, SecondaryDAO will adopt a phased integration strategy. We can begin with the least disruptive and most cost-effective solution, optimizing the current smart contract code. This initial step allows us to immediately start reducing transaction fees with minimal risk and disruption. Following the successful optimization of our code, we will proceed with the Atlas upgrade. This middle phase is critical as it leverages the technological advancements to further enhance transaction efficiency and drastically cut the fees. Finally, once there is greater regulatory clarity and market readiness, we will integrate to create our own utility tokens. This step will allow us to fully exploit new business models and transaction efficiencies, and incrementing our competitive advantage in the current market. There are also some untested solutions that may help, like the storage minimization, the efficient algorithm design, etc. But currently, we can focus on the first three solutions I mentioned before. By implementing these solutions in stage, the SecondaryDAO can ensure that each phase builds on the success of the previous one, and it will lead to a robust and resilient platform that stays ahead of the market demands and regulatory changes. Next, let's welcome our team members from the security part to introduce their current work.
Thank you. Now let's talk about another hurdle that is preventing SecondaryDAO from launching their application in real world. Because the application is still in their nascent stage, it is essential that the application is only launched when it's fully secure. The backbone of the company is their smart contracts and having them secure and free of vulnerability, and that is the highest priority. Additionally, because the platform will have multiple users, both clients and sellers, it's essential that their access is secure too. Which is why, to target these two areas, the security team helped SecondaryDAO secure their smart contracts and implement two-factor authentication for sign-in. I will touch base upon the security auditing, while my colleague Dishant will take us through the advancements in two-factor authentication. But the question still remains as to why is it even important to secure smart contracts? Well, to answer that, the smart contract security is important because smart contracts are immutable and transparent, meaning the code cannot be easily altered once deployed. They often deal with valuable assets and transactions, so security is a critical concern. Moreover, businesses often lose too much money if their smart contracts are not secure. This can be understood better using two real-life examples. In recent times, we've witnessed significant security breaches within the decentralized finance space. In April 2023, Yawn Finance faced an attack due to a smart contract misconfiguration, resulting in a whopping $11.6 million loss. Next slide, please. Earlier that year in March, Euler Finance was compromised for $197 million through a flash loan attack. These incidents underscore the critical need for robust smart contract security to mitigate such risks. Based on these examples, we tested the SecondaryDAO smart contracts to check if any such vulnerability exists. And to implement that, we performed different types of testing. So for phase one, we did manual analysis, which included a basic walkthrough of the code to develop a good understanding of it. Through this initial scan, we were able to find some target areas, which were re-entrancy vulnerability, data access manipulation, lack of input validation, gas limitations and loops, etc. This can lead to unexpected behaviors, such as draining funds from a contract, or say corrupting data, or exploiting contract functions, or even allowing DOS attacks by deliberately triggering maximum gas consumption. Next slide, please. Further on looking into each smart contract individually, possible vulnerabilities were found, which could be an opening for the hacker. This analysis was done using resources from web and research papers. For the company, two most important contracts are its escrow contract and the SecondaryDAO contract, and these two contracts are the backbone of the entire system, but also an entry point, which makes it most prone to the attack. So let's discuss the possible vulnerabilities we found in these two contracts. On analyzing, we found vulnerabilities related to admin-controlled functions, fund management, centralized power risks, property reference override, etc. These vulnerabilities could lead to attackers withdrawing funds from, Carlos, can you go back to the previous slide? Vulnerabilities could lead to attackers withdrawing funds from smart contracts illegally, and a detailed analysis of this is presented in the audit report shared by the client. Next slide, please. Further, we used automated tools to check for vulnerabilities. The tool used in this case was Slither, and it was helpful in identifying broadly 6 types of vulnerabilities, which were using incorrect exponentials or using divisions before multiplications, locking ether, not initializing variables, and not using return statements. These vulnerabilities can expose the contract to attacks or also increase gas fees. Hence, it was essential that it's fixed according to the suggested recommendations so as to make smart contracts secure and optimized. With that being said, even though we performed a security audit on the smart contracts, it is essential that it is done iteratively. Now, Dishant will brief us about the two-factor authentication.
Yeah, thank you, Niyati. So now let's talk about two-factor authentication. As we have explored, like the secondary DAO's MVP, which offers investment in real estate with prices as low as $50 and also focuses on making the process transparent and establishes trust between different users. But there is one security concern, there is one key security concern that is being overlooked, and that is the login and the registration process. So if a malicious user gains access to a user's login and password, he or she can easily access that user's account and their resources. And the solution to this problem is to implement two-factor authentication along with the code. Can you go to the next slide, please? So, what is two-factor authentication? It is a process by which a user can verify themselves using two authentication methods. And typically, this type of authentication falls into three categories. First is something that you know, that is, for example, the password, something you have, like a smartphone from which you can get OTPs. And third, something you are, like a fingerprint. And in most applications, the common approach for a two-factor authentication is to implement SMS OTP, that is one-time password, and this is how, like, where user, like, only after like successful completion of those steps, that is from login and a password, and then getting the verifying it with OTP, the user can access the site and the resources, effectively blocking malicious users and gaining access to the platform where the real estate is involved. So why 2FA? So, uh, in the context of real estate investment, where transactions are like are of sustainable sums, uh, security is not a preference, but like it's a necessity. And this dual layer of security mitigates the risk of unauthorized access. If you can go to the next slide, please. So, so now let's imagine a user who wants to log in into SecondaryDAO's platform. He or she first needs to log in or register, and during this login or register, he or she needs to set up the two-factor authentication. And for this, as per our research, we have concluded that the SecondaryDAO can use the services of Twilio and Novo, working uh, when the SMS is hit. Novo executes its workflow, which also executes the Twilio service to verify the OTP, and the user is sent the OTP. And only after verifying the OTP to the platform, then the user can log into the platform. Can you go to the next slide, please? So now let's talk about Twilio. That is one of the service that we recommended secondary DAO to implement. This is one of the cloud communication platforms, and it is one of the key players in two-factor authentication. It provides service where developers can integrate this into their application to send SMS and also verify the users. The main thing about this Twilio service is that it is very scalable and reliable. It can even scale to multiple countries by the phone number. If you can go to the next slide, please. So the second would be the No. This is a open source infrastructure notification system, which streamlines the process of sending and messaging the notifications. And one of the key things is that it provides the flexibility for developers to change from one service to another. And also, if there is a downtime in Twilio, they can change it to another service to provide a non-stop access to their platform. And one more good thing about this service is that it provides a workflow which can also be used for internal teams to improve productivity. If you can go to the next slide, please. Now let's check out the prices of Twilio and the Novo. the prices of Twilio is like for sending one SMS, the price is usually $0.0079 dollars per message, and for the verification, it's $0.05 per successful verification. And for having a phone line to send those messages, we need to pay $1.15 per month for per line. And but one of the cons of this thing is like this services is that even if the verification is not successful, the prices are incurred, and like this is one of the disadvantages of using Twilio. If you can go to the next slide, please. Now let's talk about Novo. Novo is an open source infrastructure, and it also provides free service up to 30,000 events per month at no cost. But and for like if the events exceed about 30,000 and are like below 250,000, the service is priced at $250 per month. But like this is one of the uh, like a good service which provides the flexibility of using multiple services like Twilio. So it's highly recommended, and it's also used in many applications. If you can go to the next slide. So now let's talk about the competitors of Twilio. So as you can see from the table, the most like differentiating thing about the services is that the price and its various applications. Uh, the good thing about Pilvo is that it provides service at $0.005 per SMS, which is better than Twilio. And as we can see, there is even Amazon SNS. But the only problem with Amazon SNS is that we need to integrate it with the AWS service. The learning curve for using AWS is quite high, but it becomes very successful. And also we can directly implement the entire ecosystem to AWS, thereby increasing the scalability and uh, availability. But the general conclusion for this is like Twilio is best for developers who seeks a broad range of communication tools with strong cloud integration, and Twilio is ideal for businesses that needs reliable SMS services with direct carrier connections for better quality and lower latency. And MessageBird is perfect for businesses requiring a unified platform for managing multiple communication channel, and it also has an applicability of integrating modern like social apps in the application. Yep.
So to summarize everything from a security standpoint, we generated a detailed report for the client, which contains results and recommendations of security audit. The report also contains details on two-factor authentication as to how it can be integrated with SecondaryDAO's infrastructure, and some suggestions on how to optimize our current working channels and dependencies on third-party applications. Next slide, please. We also recommend that the smart contract code is optimized based on the security audits. Testing is done thoroughly in an iterative manner to rule out all vulnerabilities. We integrate two-factor authentication with SecondaryDAO's platform. Use Novo to add flexibility in shifting from one service to another. And lastly, try to shift to multi-factor authentication instead of the two-factor authentication, as it is more secure and can be done using no-charge authenticators, like say, for example, Google Authenticator, because currently used application Twilio is a paid SMS service. Now Lou will walk us through the dashboard section.
Okay, so our goal for a dashboard is to achieve real-time data visualization to enhance business decision making. And we have 12 KPIs in total. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, for architecture part, this graph shows how we monitor setup that leverage MongoDB, MongoDB Exporter, Prometheus, and Grafana to ensure our systems are performant and reliable. Step 1, MongoDB. We start with MongoDB, our primary database, which is renowned for its high performance and scalability, making it as the ideal choice for handling large datasets and high transaction rates. Step 2, MongoDB exporter. We employ the MongoDB exporter. This tool is crucial as it extracts metrics from MongoDB and formats them into a structure that is readable by prompters. It serves as a bridge. Step 3, prompters. Our monitoring toolkit is prompters, which continuously scrapes metrics from the MongoDB exporter as configured intervals. It is designed to handle large volumes of modern data and provides robust querying language PromQL for analyzing this data. Finally, we use Grafana for visualization. It connects to prompters and uses the data collected to create comprehensive dashboards. These dashboards provide us with real-time visual insights into the health, and overall, this integrated monitoring setup allows us to keep a close eye on our databases and ensures that we can react quickly to any issues that might arise. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are all our KPIs. We have 6 investor KPIs and 6 platform manager KPIs. So there is a video about how to use the dashboard and how dashboard show the real-time data.
Hello everyone, this is Lu. I'm going to show how dashboard part works. I have run all data files and defined prompters configuration here. So when I hit Cloud Grafana, we can get running real-time data in graphs. We have 12 graphs in total to coordinate with our 13 KPIs. Here, I will introduce 4 important ones as sample. First comes total value logged. Total value logged on SecondaryDAO indicates the cumulative USDC value of properties listed for trade on the platform. This metric reflects the total economic engagement of users with the real assets available, highlighting the platform skill and user confidence. We can use this metric to do some business decisions. Firstly, investment attraction. A higher TVL can attract more investors by showing a robust level of activity and confidence in the platform. This can be really crucial for raising further capital or expanding business operations. Secondly, resource allocation. By understanding the amount of capital committed to different segments of the platform, businesses can make informed decisions about where to allocate resources or develop new features. Okay, secondly, total availability rate. This KPI measures the ratio of available tokens to total tokens within listed properties. For business decisions, firstly, inventory management. Understanding the balance between available and total tokens can help in adjusting marketing efforts or property listing to ensure there is a healthy supply of investable options for users. Secondly, demand forecasting. Analyzing the trends in total availability can help predict user demand and guide acquisition of new properties or the release of more tokens for existing ones. We have a threshold setting here. A threshold of 30% token availability is set. Reaching this threshold trigger alert, indicating a critically low level of available tokens, which could impact the platform's operation and network effects. This alert system supports decision-making to safeguard the platform health and user interest by promoting management and more property listings to the platform. Okay. Thirdly, projected rental return rate, which is also under the investor tab. This metric compares the actual rental income received within the initially projected rental return. It evaluates the accuracy of rental income forecasts and investment performance against expectations. We can use this metric for some business decisions like investment evaluation. Investors can use this metric to access the performance of current investments against their initial projections. If the actual returns are consistently lower than projected, it may signal that the investment are underperforming or that the initial projections were overly optimistic. Secondly, assets management. Property managers can identify properties that are not meeting rental income expectations and may inquire operational changes, such as improvement to property conditions, adjustment in rental strategies, or more aggressive marketing. Sometimes the return rate will not be 100%. The reason for this can be that the tenant backed out early, didn't rent for a full year, or the landlord didn't get a house ready to rent in time. So we have a threshold setting for this KPI as well. A threshold of 70% is set here. If this threshold is not met, it triggers a review process to identify and address potential issues, ensuring investment align with projected outcomes and maintain platform performance and investor confidence. Okay, the above three graphs are KPIs in Investor tab. And now I'll introduce a KPI from performance side, which is daily trade count. This metric measures the number of buy and sell transactions on the platform each day. It indicates market liquidity and user activity, helping assess the market health and guiding marketing and liquidity management strategies. We can use this metric to do business decisions like market liquidity management. High trade counts may suggest a robust market liquidity, encouraging strategies to maintain or enhance this, such as reducing transaction fees temporarily to encourage more trading. And also marketing and promotions. Low daily trade counts would indicate a need for increased marketing efforts or promotional campaigns to boost user engagement and trading activity. Okay, that's all for our dashboard.
So the expertise that we gained as a consequence of working on this project was definitely a better understanding on the real estate market dynamics, proficiency in platform design, and aligning business goals with the KPIs that Lou just presented a few minutes ago. Expertise in Grafana for data visualization, knowledge of blockchain trades-off, and understanding Solidity scripting language and working of smart contracts. The business impact here is from a platform design and market fit standpoint, tailored platform design to swiftly overcome the chicken and egg problem, achieving faster product market fit. Customized KPIs aligned to enhance management decision making. Strengthen positioning to pass the Senate screening process from a security standpoint, and focus blockchain assessment to strategically reduce gas fees and target initiatives, minimizing time wastage. So the next steps for the client and also for any other future capstone team that could take also this project in the short term is to optimize the smart contract code based on security audit and transaction fee reduction reports that we are going to share. Perform iterative testing to secure contracts, and upgrade Grafana free version to boost user enrollment and scalability. In the midterm, we suggest to upgrade to Arbitrum OS 20 Atlas based on transaction fee reduction report, evaluate the creation of utility tokens from a business perspective based on findings from the transaction fee reduction report. Expert consultation for smart contract security, and implement MFA using applications like Duo or Google Authenticator. So thank you for your time. That was the conclusion of the presentation.
Carlos, that was great. Thanks, everyone.
So we're ready for the Q&A.
That be questions from my side or Secures?
I think Sean's.
Yeah.
No, Joshua, you have
Josh,
the
you can
floor
go ahead.
first. Yeah, Joshua, you have the floor first as the client, so please, you go first.
Well, you know what? I've been in the meetings every Friday, and we've talked about this as it went on, so I'm pretty familiar with what was going to happen today. I'm super excited to read the final reports. So I'm looking forward to that. But it was great working with everybody. I think everything on the short-term list is going to happen pretty quick. I'm going to have to do some more research on the ARBOS, but definitely the security issues. Yeah, Sean?
Yeah, again, go back to that slide, that next step slide. Yeah, this one here. So give me some calendar dates. What's short term actually mean? Does that mean 6 months to a year?
No.
Okay. Oh no, the team, please. And team, what's the midterm range look like too?
So I think at a high level, we define short term in everything in less than 6 months, and midterm 6 months and beyond.
Okay, fair enough. So short term is 6 months. You've got 3 bullets here. Are these bullets in order of preference, order of ease of implementation, or is there no order here?
I mean, there's not really a criteria of what should be done first. On each delivery report, each team has been like more precise on how to prioritize the recommendations, but this is just a list. We didn't actually order these on a prioritization scheme.
Okay, fair enough. Would that be helpful to have an order, or at least Joshua, from your standpoint, understand what this team was thinking at this point in time?
It's always helpful. I mean, just right off the bat, anything security related is the most important thing, and that is number one on the list there. But yeah, anytime it's organized in priorities or ordinance,
yeah,
that's helpful.
That'd be good. Okay, so team, maybe give that some thought, and then I don't know if you've given any thought to the cost associated with each one of those steps. That might be helpful as well, and that could be maybe one order of priority. But now you said midterm was a little bit longer out, so beyond 6 months, but what does the team anticipate in terms of the order of priority, and how long is too long? So, I mean, in other words, should these 4 midterm items be wrapped up in a year's time or 2 years' time, or what do you anticipate that midterm projection looking like?
So the thing is that this is a very dynamic environment. Actually, while Jerry was doing her research on the platform efficiency, new features came out in a matter of weeks. So we were working with very out of the oven kind of technology. So actually, what is written down here in 1 or 2 years might be completely different. So the time frame should be less than a year. That's why I state that short term was less than 6 months, and midterm should be like beyond 6 months. But let's say that no more than 1 year, because a lot of things might change in the future.
Okay, got it. And then yeah, and you'll also add maybe some thought to that order of priority as well, correct?
Yes, again, I mean, from a presentation standpoint, we didn't go through those details, but in the documentation that we're going to share, we are going to present some priorities in any list that we are going to share with the client.
Perfect. And this is important. The documentation is vital, I think, for Joshua's sake, because once all of you graduate, you're gone, and it's really hard to track you down. And even if I do track you down, if clients have questions, typically you don't answer me. So we want to make sure that you, in fact, cover the expectations that Joshua has for the documentation, just so that in a few weeks or months' time, there can be a trace back on what you were thinking. So, Joshua, have you conveyed the expectations around the documentation that you want to see?
Not in writing.
Please do that in writing so the team can make every effort to meet those expectations. Sorry, are there any other questions or comments for the team from the Heinz College side, or anyone else for that matter? Okay, we can all tell it's Friday afternoon. Sakir, do you want the last word?
Oh, not much to say. Yeah, certainly I would like to thank Josh and his team, not just for meeting us every Friday, but also for all the clarifications that they made in the chat channel. And certainly I'm wishing best for Josh on this great business endeavor. And also I would like to congratulate the team on forming the sub-teams early in the semester and then making good progress and then finishing the project on a strong outcome. Okay. And thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you so much, Sakir, and the team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Sakir, for advising the team. Team, nicely done. Please get everything wrapped up and sent over to Joshua. And Joshua, please keep us in mind for future projects. We'd love to have you come back.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone.
Great job.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.